Hi, I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Tony Northrup.
and you're watching Chelsea and Tony Live.
It's not the way I remember the name of the show
Well, you
being.
control the slides, you control the name.
Now you'll be able to tell who made the slides today, I
And
guess.
this episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for creating a fast and easy professional website or online portfolio. You can try it out for 14 days for free. No credit card needed. And if you like it, and I think you will, you can go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio to get 10% off.
And we both use Squarespace for our portfolios, and we love it. And we'll be
Yeah.
looking at some Squarespace portfolios today. It's just a good way to make your pictures look awesome. So before we start, Chelsea, I wanted to quickly introduce the Impossible Project. The Impossible Project is like a small company that kind of took over trying to make films for Polaroid cameras. So Polaroid went bankrupt, and basically nobody took over making these Polaroid films. Fuji started making some films. The Impossible Project took on everything else. And I found in our closet actually two of these Kodak Polaroid land cameras named for a man named Land.
Our landscaper gave us one.
Oh, right. I don't know where the other one came from. Anyway, so I ordered some of these Polaroid, no, sorry, not Polaroid, but Impossible Project Polaroid compatible film sets. And I thought I would try them on air because it's kind of interesting to see a resurrection of old technology. But I wanted to start with it because unlike the old Polaroids that you shook and developed in just a couple of minutes, these take about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes.
Fun. So fun.
And you have to immediately put them into a dark place. And I've not done this before. So, Chelsea, I'm going to try to load this up while you go ahead and introduce the rest of the steps for getting their pictures on the show.
Okay, so for today's portfolio review, go to sdp.io/link and you can submit your portfolio for review. And today our photo theme is going to be wildlife pictures. So go to sdp.io/submit and you can upload your photos there. Hopefully we can get through all of them today.
We have two new cameras in besides these sweet Polaroid cameras that I'm still kind of working with. Look at that. These actually have cool borders on them. So I think I'm going to pull this out and then we'll be ready to
take a picture.
Take a picture. Yeah.
Wait, we forgot to mention our studio guest today is our friend Mike, but he's hiding in the corner, so you'll never see him.
Yeah, Mike does a little bit of everything photographically, but he takes some great sports pictures. We're always standing next to each other, taking pictures of our girls at the soccer games. Okay, so I'll try this out now. This has manual exposure, but it's just got like white and black lines. So.
Well, there's no numbers.
And who knows? I know. I don't know how to expose this. It's kind of a trial and error thing, but.
Good luck. This is my good luck face.
Okay, so I have to immediately put this in someplace dark. And now we have to wait 30 minutes. So 5:40 or so, we'll check back on it.
I'm glad our books finally serve a purpose.
Yeah. We have two new cameras in.
Yes,
the
we
brand
do.
new A7 II, which we just got in a few minutes ago. This is Sony's full-frame mirrorless camera. Runs you like $1,500, the body alone. And the thing that's exciting about it is, well, it's full frame, tiltable screen, all that, but they've had that before. It has a sensor that's stabilized, which means you can put any lens on it, adapted lenses even, and they'll be stabilized. So I think with a fast lens like a 50 f1.8, you'll be able to take pictures in like near darkness handheld. Should be pretty amazing for low light photography. And that's not something that you've been able to do before with a full frame camera. Smaller cameras can do it.
I haven't really had a chance to play with that one yet.
Yeah, it just came in, but check it out at sdp.io/A7II, Roman numerals. And I put the URL the same for the both of them. But the A7S it's kind of big brother. This is a 12 megapixel camera, which is unusual for a modern full frame camera. And it has the highest low light score DxO Mark has ever recorded by like a third.
Wow.
So it should be amazing in low light, and the videos are pretty amazing with it. We have had a chance to play with this, but I took it to a soccer game, and it did terribly, because that's not what it's supposed to do.
I tried it too, and I haven't had a chance to upload the photos yet and check them out, but so far, I'm new to Sony, and I just thought it was really difficult to use. The buttons are so clumsy.
Yeah,
The menu system isn't very intuitive, and I
oddly,
wasn't the
they're just
only
not.
one. I was handing it to other people and letting them try, and people were, it's not an easy camera to use right away.
Yeah, and it almost feels like it should have a touchscreen, but it doesn't. But the images we get out of it should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be comparing these two cameras to see who's the low light king of the world, and comparing them to other cameras too. So we're excited to have these new full frame Sonys in the house. Another cool gadget we have. You wanna talk
Yeah,
about
the
that?
folks at Ion Cam were nice enough to send us their little invention here. And any of you that are taking pictures of kids will know how hard it is to keep their attention and get them to look into the lens. I end up being the photo shoot buffoon, just like making silly jokes or faces. And they were smart enough to make this little clamp here. You just put your iPhone in it, and you can put a TV show on it, or Shrek the movie, whatever you want to put on there for the kids. And then they'll just look right above your lens and into your camera while you take pictures of them.
Yeah, what always happens is the parent ends up trying to get the kid's attention, but they stand like over your shoulder or to the side.
Right.
And you can see with the eye contact, the kid's looking off camera, and it's just weird. So you really want them to look right at the lens, but try to get a little kid to do that.
Actually, you're supposed to look right above the lens as a model. You're not supposed to look directly into it. So this is actually a good location.
Yeah, I think it's just perfect for kids or ADD models. So we just kind of missed
talking about me?
a little bit. We kind of missed like all the kids shoots for the
Yeah.
holidays, but I'm sure we'll have a kid shoot coming up. and
Yeah,
can't
I
wait to
just
try it
had
out.
one, and I could not get that baby to look at the camera, so I'll have to test this out.
You want to give that away to the best wildlife picture?
Yes. Well, why wildlife? Because they're the people that don't need it.
You make a good point. Maybe the best portfolio that we review today.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
So we'll take a look at a few portfolios. They're going to be at sdp.io/link.
Sorry.
I have to actually pull that up. So if you could just talk for 1 second, Chelsea.
What are you talking about?
I have to pull up the links.
I have a very fun segment planned. It's called Stunner News. You just saw a little clip of it. And we had 3 people from our Stunner group this week get published somewhere. One was on the cover of a magazine, their photo, another in the newspaper, and another one was in Inspire magazine. So it's really exciting. I love highlighting what our stunners do. You guys are great. It's so fun to watch you go from beginners to pros that are actually getting your photos published. So you'll have to stay tuned and see which stunners are amazing.
Here's our first portfolio from Ray Martinez Photography.
I know this guy.
Good, yeah, and this is hosted on Squarespace, our
Yeah.
favorite portfolio provider. It actually looks like he's doing some commercial work here, because that's exciting. It's most of the type of work that we do, but you don't see a lot of it. So let's take a look at his commercial work first. This is bothering me terribly, that the top of her head is clipped off.
That's a new hairstyle that's very popular. So
I think you'd either want to clip it more or just go ahead and show the top of her head. It's just in kind of an awkward place.
okay.
Let's take a look at his commercial work.
Ooh. I want those pancakes.
Yeah, this all looks great.
Yeah, really nice photos. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, the colors are so rich here. I love the background blur, just perfect. Yeah, wonderful. The right number of pictures. I'm afraid I don't even have any constructive
I
criticism.
like the cool guy in the top right corner.
Yeah, I will say that this looks like the portrait portfolio of a commercial photographer, which is okay. They're very professional shots. In fact, many of them are literally professional shots. And that's, nowadays, it seems like most portrait work is professional in some way. At least it's either kids or adults who need it for their job.
Right.
And so we're seeing some of that here, and it's just a style that requires some discipline. And all the backgrounds are perfect. These are missing catch lights, and I think they kind of desperately need it, right?
Yeah, I think they could use a catch light.
Yeah.
You just need that little gleam in the eye that shows that the eyes are there.
I was actually just checking for a common problem to see if both of their eyes were in focus.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. It can be difficult with group shots. He needs an apple box.
She needs an apple box?
Well, I guess I meant Ray Martinez, the photographer, needs an apple box. But you're right, an apple box is just a box that
Short
short people stand on.
like me stand on so that they don't look like mini people.
Yeah, and so you do want a difference in height here, but you want the woman to be just a couple of inches lower. Here, the top of her head is below his chin. So unless the story is about their height difference, you'll want to level it out a little bit so that maybe her eyes are level with his nose, just a little bit shorter. You need a lot of apple boxes in
What if
the
you
case of this
offend
couple.
someone? If a shorty walks in and you pull out the apple box and they just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you offer it as an option.
Like, what if that's the first time they discover that they're short? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't even know.
Look, fine. If you want to do it, I don't want to be the one to break the news to people.
Wow. Wildlife photography. These are some fantastic shots. Look at
Yeah,
this
I
bald
love
eagle.
that bald eagle shot. Gorgeous.
Yeah, really beautiful, perfectly exposed, no noise.
Ooh, I love this one.
GBH. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
The way he caught it, the perfect black background. Great, great shot. Another bald eagle shot.
Oh,
Young bald eagle. Crocs.
yeah, these are beautiful.
Yeah, these are great. I will say this one didn't quite strike me as fitting in. A little bit of sensor dust scattered throughout too, so it could use a little cleaning up, but all the other shots, just spectacular.
He doesn't have too many pictures either. Oh, that's him, my friend, Ray.
Yeah, that's Ray.
Yeah, that's Ray.
Good. You have a little story about yourself, your email address?
I know his phone number now.
Yeah,
Get
everybody
ready,
go ahead and
Ray.
give Ray a call. Let him know that his pictures are awesome. You might want to add pricing. I mean, kind of depends on your style, but I usually recommend it, especially if you're doing commercial work.
He's not that kind of guy.
No? Let's see.
You can either afford him or you can't.
Yeah, if you have
But
to
if you
ask,
have to
right,
ask.
with Ray. Ray says, finally made the switch to Squarespace and he loves it. Use our coupon code. Coupon code
Thank you, Ray.
portfolio. Visit squarespace.com.
I think it's a big
/Tony.
deal if they use our coupon code, right? Because it lets Squarespace know that we're just not slackers.
Yeah,
Like,
that we're
we're-
actually like getting it done, and that keeps this show going because it's not free.
Thanks for keeping the show going, Ray, and Squarespace.
Let's look at some pictures. These are pictures from people who didn't follow the instructions and submitted them between shows probably.
Man.
But we like to look at the thumbnails and see what catches our eye. Thumbnails, unfortunately, the most important part of modern photography, because if you don't draw them in with your thumbnail, they will never see your picture. This thumbnail drew me in right away, just brilliant colors, simple shapes that showed up perfectly in the thumbnail. And
The woman with the hydrangea.
yeah, that's a nice shot, nice clean
Bright
composition.
colors.
Yeah, very nice. Taken with a Sony A7. What else
There's
is
one-
catching your
I
eye?
saw one of a duck peeking over a. Ooh.
That looks good. Nice shot.
Right next to fruit. It's like, which one do you want? You even have to ask.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, just struck me as funny.
Cotton top tamarind.
Sticking out his tongue. That's cute.
Clean up the noise in the greens a little bit.
The Louvre pyramid.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. I actually don't know that I've seen that at night. We've been to the Louvre a few times, but just perfect, great use of symmetry and geometry. A fantastic shot. Really deserves a nice big print. Love the contrast in it too. Really well done.
Yeah. Ooh, that one with the hairdryer girl.
That is cute. Yeah,
That's
nice
really
bright
cute.
colors. That's perfect. That's a great stock photo. I don't know if that's your intention, but it could certainly work for that. Eye-catching too. This one is just kind of, I don't know.
Halloween.
Yeah, drew me in. Okay, so I'll import some new pictures and we can see pictures that people have sent in live. You can go to sdp.io/submit to send us your own picture and we'll review it instantly, hopefully.
Hopefully. Oh, wow.
The theme today is wildlife, so we won't look at anything that's not wildlife.
Okay.
I don't know that that
That's
technically
wildlife.
counts. See, this camera actually has too much resolution.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that counts. It's definitely a bald eagle. We can see that it's a captive bald eagle.
It's not captive. Those bracelets are taking off in the bald eagle community. It's like the silly band ones that our kids wear.
You know, the falconry, one of the reasons it works is birds are so lazy. If they're full,
They are lazy.
well, first, you never fly a bird when it's full.
Otherwise, it will just keep going.
Right, because it doesn't care about you. It doesn't bond with you in any way. They're like little machines without souls or feelings.
Wow. This is getting really controversial.
So you only fly them when they're hungry. So you keep them on a little scale. They're
Yeah.
purchased a little scale on it. When they're below a certain weight, that's when you fly them because you know they will see food and come back. So you have food, you let them go, they see your food, and they will come back. And that's really the only reason they come back. So I've never seen bald eagles used in this way. Okay, nice tight shot. I actually like this kind of thing. It can be really difficult, especially in zoos, to get a full shot of an animal and not include a lot of distractions. But this managed pretty well to eliminate all the distractions. But it still captures kind of the character of the giraffe. Bees are so hard because they move around so much.
Yeah, I love the colors in that one.
Yeah, just beautiful. You know, we kind of zoom in here, and it's not the sharpest picture. Let's change the settings there. But at this scale, it looks really nice, and you pretty close to filled the frame.
Oh, this is a sad picture. I always feel bad for the ducks.
Why would you feel bad? They can fly. Like, it's their own fault that they're here. They could go to Florida or something. They choose to stay around and stick their butts in icy cold water.
Yeah, but I mean, I wish we could let them in the house.
You feel bad. I go out there and I scream at them, like, what are you doing here? If I could fly, I'd be gone.
We can fly.
You make a good point. I should scream at myself. This is what's formerly known as the horned lizard. But growing up in Texas, we always call it the horny toad. And at the time, they were so populous that it would be difficult to drive down the road and not run over them.
Oh my gosh.
You would see them flat on the road all the time. They were everywhere, coating the roads. And now they're almost extinct, like beyond endangered.
Everybody ran them over.
Maybe it was just cars. They're terribly cute. They're like this little flat lizard that likes to hide under rocks. And now they're very, very protected. So it's strange to me that they're so rare nowadays, but they're very cool looking animals.
I do like this picture.
Yeah, and I like that it's in the hand. That provides a sense of scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think this
Not
counts.
Wildlife. I feel like it is.
Okay.
Spiders would count, and you know they count the spider web.
I do like the web like that.
At a really interesting time. I feel like the spider's probably not having a great time at the moment. They probably don't like freezing temperatures. But yeah, beautiful shot. I almost wonder if it would be a little more powerful, a little closer, like filling the frame with the web.
I like it. I like the context.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think those are wild, but that's so cute.
Very cute. Not necessarily wildlife. Okay.
Technically. It's a rat with
The
wings.
seagull. It's facing away from you a little bit. Wildlife, you want it either perfectly in profile or a little bit towards you. This picture is also a little bit dark. What are those called?
Guinea hen?
No.
Special hen?
I don't know what that is.
Pheasant?
I forget. You see them in zoos all the time just because they're so brilliantly
A
beautiful.
Fabio pheasant.
But this is a fantastic
long,
shot.
Flowing blonde locks.
Infinite detail, gorgeous colors, nicely done.
Wow.
Oh, a swallow or a merlin. Very, very hard to catch flying. This has been our like white whale to get one of these guys. So great job. I can see you had to crop really heavily to get it.
You always do.
But it counts because it's in focus and
They're
it's
so
sharp.
fast.
Actually,
And
it looks like he has something in his beak maybe. They're just beautiful to watch.
well, I don't think this is wildlife, but I do like it.
Yeah. Do we have to discuss what the word wild means?
Maybe they were playing that song Born to be Wild.
Yeah, okay. I'll accept it. Chickadees, they're like every wildlife photographer's best friend.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they don't care. They're not afraid of people.
No.
They will land on your hand. Anyway, cool shot, nice story going on there. And it was clearly patient because it looks like that's the photographer. Like he managed to hold it up, the camera up.
Excuse me. I tried not to sneeze and it just made it worse.
That's all right.
Osprey.
Chelsea cannot reach her cough button.
I don't have one.
You have one, it's just you can't reach it with your feet.
Mm.
We have to rearrange the studio a little bit. An osprey, beautiful shot, though it's unclear for some reason. Just something a little unclear about it. I'm not sure why.
I wonder if missed focus.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe it's just far away.
Yeah, that could be too.
The same with this one. This one's far away. This
Yeah, actually, this is probably just cropped to 100%.
is that the same
so-
person? Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, different camera.
That's a great moment. I'm just hitting the water like that. And
Yeah.
I like the colors, the gradient from blue to the like earthy tones at the top. It's really pretty.
Gorgeous picture, like an artistic wildlife photo. Really nicely
Yeah.
done. Ah, moose. Yeah, great shot. Beautiful, peaceful moment.
I love him in the grasses laying down. It's really pretty.
Yeah, and you captured the texture in his fur just perfectly. It would be easy to underexpose that and let it all go to black, but we can see his fur. Gorgeous.
It looks like a postcard. It's pretty.
Yeah, it really does. Cheetah. Yeah, nice shot. Shows some environment there, some scenery. You get a
I
sense of the
might
context.
bring out his eyes a little bit.
I was thinking
because-
we could raise the whole exposure. That's too much, but
Zoom in on his head. Yeah, I might even go in and just raise the eyes a bit.
oh, with an adjustment brush.
Yeah.
I should give you your mouse.
I don't have anything.
Oh,
I can't even read the comments. I'm just,
you did look good.
I'm here to look good, I guess. I'm not even doing that. Sneezing everywhere. Thanks,
Yeah,
Justin. I
you're
forgot
welcome.
about this.
I've completely blown it with the adjustment brush.
That's okay.
Okay, you get the idea.
Oh,
Oh, a red fox. They're some of the cutest animals.
that's is that a red fox?
I assume so. Does
He's
it
so
look like something different?
Skinny.
Yeah, they could be skinny. He looks like a red fox to me. Nice shot. Kind of far away
Yeah, it's a
and
bit far away.
small at the same time. It's always a struggle just trying to get closer and closer. That is the challenge. You can buy big glass, but there's really no replacement for getting closer. We were just demonstrating that today. That
You learn a lot from hunters. Wear
Yeah.
camo, cover your scent. I don't wear perfume or anything. And just sit there and wait so that you're not making any noise. That's really the best thing to do. And you have to be patient. So it helps to have Candy Crush on your phone.
except that the instant you stop paying attention is when they walk right past you.
Yeah, they walk past you and they do a dance and then you pull your camera up and then they all disappear.
You know, angry seagull,
Squeal.
squirrel.
Wow.
Oh, crows are
They're
like the
feisty.
badasses of the nature
I
community.
know, they're my
always
favorite. They're
fighting
always-
above their weight.
Beating somebody up.
Wow, I can't believe how
Great
close this
shot.
guy is with
He
a
doesn't
Sony
even
Alpha
care.
77. And yeah, perfectly exposed so you can still see the texture in the crow there. And yeah, we see crows chasing eagles and osprey and
They-
owls.
They
In fact,
work as
one
a
of
team.
the ways you find wildlife in the woods is you listen to the crows, because the crows will spot bigger animals like owls and eagles and then
Yeah.
caw at them and chase them until they leave. So you follow where the crows are and they're yelling at something cool to take a picture of.
Yeah.
They will lead you to your subject.
That
Beautiful
or they're
nature
cawing
shot.
at you, which also happens.
Yeah, they might just be, okay, those are not wildlife shots, but they are beautiful landscapes. So you want to take a look at another landscape or another
Sure, I
portfolio?
have some things to do between the portfolios too. If you'd like to go back to the slideshow,
And let's do that.
we have Stunner News.
Right, Stunner News. I recognize that dude.
That's our friend Erky, and he was on the cover of Canis magazine. I wonder if that's how you say it.
Those are dogs, Chelsea. That's not Erky.
Very funny. But yeah, we're really proud of you, Erky. We've seen you from the beginning, and you've grown so much, and it's been an honor to watch him become a professional photographer.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of like commercial and portrait work too, and just amazing work. Congrats, Erky. Great
And
work.
he was just hired to be the main photographer of this big dog fair, too. So, Saeed, he got in the paper, the Daily Post, with that picture. And I don't know if you remember that picture, but we reviewed it maybe like a year ago, and we loved it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice. Cool. Great. Congrats.
And then Ivo was in Inspire magazine. That's his picture on the right of the two kissing people. It's really beautiful. We're so proud of you. And it was so great to see all of the other stunners support you. I know that Erky got over 320 likes or something like that on his picture. And all of them got a lot of encouraging feedback. So it's nice to be a part of such a great community.
Yeah,
And
congrats,
if
guys.
you need to learn photography, you can get our book, Stunning Digital Photography. It comes with 9 hours of video and gives you access to that great supportive group that we have. People are always helping each other, answering your questions, trying to fix problems with your photos. So the ebook is $9.99. It's a bargain. We're the #1 bestseller on Amazon and have 843 reviews with 5 stars. I mean, come on. What more do I have to say to sell you? Don't be a cheapskate.
What is it going to take, people?
And if you take pictures, you need to edit them. Why do the disservice to yourself of just leaving them plain when you can do amazing editing in Lightroom? And we have a book for that too. And it's on sale on Amazon right now for $17.79 with 12 hours of video. I dare you to find a better deal because I know you won't.
Wow, that's big talk. I wanted to go back to this picture. I really love it. He's got
The moon.
the moon up here, which is kind of tying in with this light source. He obviously has another light source, but it feels like it's coming from the moon.
Yeah.
It feels like they're backlit by
It's
the moon.
really beautiful.
It just is. And then the background and the environment, it's so much storytelling going on and such nice emotion, and their outfits are I just wasn't done talking about that picture. Just a great shot. Congrats, Ivo.
That's beautiful.
Let's take another look at a portfolio before we move on with that. Let's look at Sean McDonald's Squarespace hosted portfolio.
Oh, okay.
Architecture, spaces, places, and landscape photography. So this is going to be mostly still life work. This is a very interesting architectural night shot. And look at what he's done with the longer exposure. It looks like maybe a third or a quarter of a second exposure, but he caught these people moving. And it just adds a little bit of life to it without becoming about the people. Especially because they're blurred, that means you don't have to worry about their faces. Like you'd be able to use the shot commercially without getting model releases, which is kind of a big deal. Great shot.
Yeah, I like his night photos.
Yeah, and he's done something that people don't think about, but he's captured the sky here. So he shot it at twilight in the kind of blue hour when there's still light in the sky, and so it's not completely black, and that makes all the difference. But the city lights are on, so you get that balance, which is really important. Beautiful use of lines here.
He has a lot of interesting night shots.
Yeah, great shots, great spots, great planning. I think we saw that spot before. In fact, a lot of these are kind of the same building.
Yeah, there are a lot of redundant pictures in here, Sean. So my advice to you would be to pare them down and choose your favorites. So the Orca Lego thing, whatever that is, I'd just choose one from that location.
Yeah, we're seeing most of these seem to be from the same spot,
Yeah.
Which is okay to, if you mix them up and spread them apart, to put a couple in.
I love that he put the railing in this picture because it just gives it more depth.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is just a beautiful shot. It's one of the challenges with skyline shots is the skyline is shaped like this.
Yeah.
So either you shoot a really wide panorama or you slice it down to a very small part of it, or you're left trying to deal with the top and bottom of the frame. And so it can be really useful to find something interesting to put in the foreground. And that's kind of what he's done with this fence here, the railing.
All right, let's see his landscapes. Oh, beautiful. I love the long exposure.
Yeah. Yeah, another nice long exposure, giving that kind of feathery look to the water. Could have even gone longer. Like there's still, it's kind of in that in-between stage, which tends to be like a quarter of a second or so when you still see the motion. Your choice on whether you go longer or not. I prefer a more feathery look.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, really nice shot. Yeah, again, I would slap a neutral density filter on and get it up to like a second or 2 seconds, or take multiple shots and then stack them together in Photoshop. Either one will work. Here the motion, I think, works really well. It kind of lures you in. Old Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, he has so many. I love that shot. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that really is beautiful. It looks like Maine. It's like rocky cliffs.
Yeah,
Again,
the landscape work is really strong.
Yeah, a couple of redundant subjects here. I like this picture better with the clouds and the rain.
Yeah.
Really nice. So I'd probably just drop that picture. You don't want too many redundant pictures. Let's see what the thumbnails look like.
Oh, I don't like that scattered layout. I know that that's a matter of opinion, but for me, it's so difficult to focus on any one picture when they're all over the place. I feel like I miss a lot of photos.
Yeah, that can happen. It's not his default, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's learn.
Wait,
What do you want to say?
this picture.
Oh,
think
that's
that's so
beautiful.
cool.
Yeah, that is a cool spot.
All right, go ahead. Go back to what you were doing.
Okay, I was just going to check out his About page. There's Sean.
There he is.
Nice work, Sean. Great picture of yourself. If
What?
you want to see our checklist, we have a checklist about portfolios. I think it's at
Oh, yeah.
scp.io/portfolio checklist. We just give you a list of things to check off before you send your portfolio in. But these people seem to be doing everything right.
They're doing
Sean,
a
your
good job.
homework is to eliminate some of the redundancy in your portfolio and just reduce the number of pictures. But otherwise, you're going in a great direction, and just keep building it. Let's see.
I like that he's a natural adventurer too.
Yeah, I like that a lot. What did Sean have to say? Here we go. Squarespace is great, super easy to set up and use. Also, awesome support and service. The Care Bear layer. That's their support, which usually gets back to you within an hour.
24/7 support, and I've heard really good things. I haven't had to use them, but I've heard good things.
I used them. It was my fault, and they just fixed it for me.
Wow,
I
really?
wrote back, and it was just no problem at all. It was a really good experience. Squarespace has just upgraded all their systems, so now is a good time to jump in because everything is just a little bit more refined, works a little bit better.
Squarespace 7.
They have an awesome system for building your own logo. So you can create this great logo
No, I've
and
been
then
playing with
watermark
that.
your pictures with it.
I have to make a video about that for you because it's really fun.
It's even cool. It's cool enough that you should sign up for a trial at squarespace.com/Tony. Even if you don't want to pay for it, just build yourself a logo and then you can export it and bring it into Lightroom or something else. Anyway, it's just a fantastic tool.
Yeah.
But I think once you get in there, you'll probably want to stick with it anyway. If you do decide to keep going with Squarespace, you can use the coupon code portfolio.
Yeah.
And that gives us credit, no money, but we just get credit for it, and it gives you 10% off. So you want to take a look at some more wildlife pictures, or do we have more slides?
I want to see more wildlife pictures.
Okay.
This one's out of focus. I think it's camera shake.
Yeah, it might be a little, I think there is camera shake. Well, let's see. So with camera shake, we'd see
Oh.
blurriness throughout the whole picture.
Yeah, it's
It
motion
looks like
blur.
it just, or maybe it just missed focused.
Yeah, but look at here. I thought this looks like it's moving here. Like it's going up and down.
Yeah, you're right. This has motion blur and missed focus. We want to focus right on the eye, and it just missed it a little bit. We can see it focus just farther down here.
It looks, yeah, this looks like the most in focus part.
I would never take just one shot. I would take pictures over and over again, refocus, try
Yeah,
again,
I've been with him. He takes a lot of pictures.
and then you pick the best one because no camera is
No.
100% with focusing.
No person is.
Oh,
Wow.
what a beautiful shot.
Speaking of things being in focus, holy smokes.
Yeah, this is an incredible amount of detail. Our favorite camera in the world, the D810. It's a little bit underexposed. You can tell just by looking at the histogram. See how over here there's
Can I play?
no information. Yeah, go for it. There you go. Look, it just comes right alive as you just raise the exposure a little bit.
Let's zoom in. Look at those wings. Beautiful shot. That's really incredible. Good work.
Yes, that is a fantastic B shot. Just
Look at his
it's
legs.
interesting biologically. Like he's managed to collect all this pollen right here. You can see so much detail that you can actually learn about animals. One of my favorite things about wildlife photography is just that you get involved in the lives of these animals. Great shot. All we had to do was raise the exposure. Seagull. Seagulls are what you
Classy
shoot
seagull.
when there's nothing else,
Look
because
at
they're
him
just always
crossing his
seagulls.
legs. It's
Yeah.
a lady.
It's quite a, yeah, or gentleman. Perfect exposure. It could have easily been too dark.
I like the use of negative space.
Yeah.
Juice. I know Juice.
Yeah.
His head is just turned a little bit away.
Yeah, you just kind of have to hang out and just keep taking shots. Birds are always twitching and always moving their heads. So if you
think I
keep taking shots, they'll eventually give you a better angle.
Crop this one a little bit too.
Yeah, actually not many shots here have needed cropping, but as part of my work at northrop.org, I studied how people responded to different types of pictures and thumbnails, and people almost always prefer tighter crops. Part of that is what we were talking about earlier with the thumbnails. They want to be able to see it in the thumbnail, and then they'll explore more. Anyway, the answer is almost always to crop a little bit tighter. But this is a perfect crop, just for example.
That's him again. One
It's
photo.
like, one photo. We didn't say it, but those are cool shots. Beautiful shots. People are confusing nature and wildlife. A peacock seems to be at every zoo.
Yeah.
And they are aggressive animals. They will just chase you down.
Oh, they're such show-offs. It's like, put your tail down. We get it. You're beautiful. We have places to be.
We miss focus on the eye a little bit. And just like portraits, you want to focus on the near eye.
That is important. That's frustrating when you get a great shot, but you miss focus a little bit.
Yeah. So here we have some lobsters, and
Oh, making me hungry.
I'm just gonna warm up the color balance a little bit, the white balance, because they're probably under like ultraviolet lights or
I
some
kind
sort
of
of
liked
strange
it
light.
blue.
Really?
I think they're
Yeah.
at an aquarium.
Yeah, I think it's in an aquarium. Okay, nice clear shot. Aquariums can be difficult. They're at ISO 2500, which is about where you end up. And so as a result, things are always going to be kind of noisy. You also have to deal with like the reflections on the glass.
Oh, yeah, and the handprints from every person.
Yeah,
I like
most of the
that.
handprints are going to be lower because kids.
You got to bring little Windex wipes.
Not a bad idea. I don't know if the staff really wants you rubbing stuff on the glass,
I'll
but
be
it's
the,
worth a
I'll be
shot.
the crazy lady with the squeegee and the Windex wipes.
But
Pushing kids.
the contrast here is really nice. So often what you see when shooting through glass is a lower contrast as the glass reflects some light. You can combat that by putting your lens like flat against the glass. So it kind of blocks out any stray light.
That's what you do. Or you have somebody stand there to get the glare off the glass. Sometimes I use you.
Yeah, or I'll take my hat off and kind of use it to block the light reflecting off of it. Anyway, it's a skill
There are
shooting through
tricks.
glass. This picture turned out perfectly. I don't have any tips for you.
Oh,
Gray fox? I'm guessing.
it's a little
It seems like it'd be a
underexposed.
gray fox.
That's nice. I would crop this because the detail deserves to be seen.
Yeah, you have extra pixels there, and you have to ask yourself, is the wall behind him really helping the story, helping the scene?
Press enter.
Much better.
Yeah. I think you don't want to raise it too much and blow out the whites.
Yeah, I might even raise it and then recover the highlights a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Sometimes you end up raising the whole exposure and dragging the highlights down.
I almost like it just cropped in like that. Look at his cute little face.
Yeah, cropping tighter is almost always a picture people are going to like better. He is adorable.
Bring out those eyes. So cute.
Nice. Good edit.
I'm going to put my watermark on that.
They're
Are these swimming pigeons? What's happening?
not pigeons, I can tell from the bill, but I don't know exactly what this bird is. I'll say that the composition feels a little bit unbalanced for me, mostly because of this guy up here.
I think it's also underexposed.
Yeah, it is a little bit underexposed. Okay, good shot.
Check your histograms. That's very important.
Yeah, with any type of photography. The squirrel perched on a
Look,
branch.
I'm going to say it. I never get tired of squirrels. I think they're cute.
Yeah, he's facing away, which isn't ideal, but he
They-
is being cute. Again, kind of facing away.
Oh,
Thank you.
Justin. Oh, that's nice. If we bring up the shadows, maybe we can see his eye a little. Let's crop it.
There you go.
Crop it like it's hot.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
going to want
oh,
to crop it so that you leave in some of the snow, because that's an important part of the story. But you only need to see a little bit of it to know that it was a snowy day. And yeah, you've raised the shadow some. I feel like I want to see a little more blacks in there, so I'll just drop the blacks a little bit, increase the contrast a little. But right away, I think this is just a stronger composition. Well,
I'm gonna make it a little bit blue too, because then it makes it look cold. There we go.
yeah, good call. And I love the motion of the snow. You caught that with your shutter speed, so that's really, really nice. Nice shot.
I like it.
I like female cardinals. They're underrated.
too.
The
I
male
think they're
cardinal gets all
underrated.
the attention with his bright red
I
colors.
find them garish, to be honest.
Not unlike the peacocks.
Not unlike the peacock.
Yeah, you have strong
I
emotions
don't like
about
these
this.
males trying to flaunt their colors. Like a nice understated female cardinal.
So here's one rule of wildlife photography. You can take a picture of an exotic animal
Mm-hmm.
or a common animal doing something interesting.
I think I know what you're going to say. The common animal has to be doing something that blows your mind. So if you take a picture
Yeah.
of a seagull, it should be riding a unicycle.
Yeah, because we see a lot of seagulls. Same with the squirrels. Like it needs to be doing calculus or something that would just amaze you. This duck is doing something interesting. It's not just floating
He's
around.
clapping. That or he's hip hop dancing.
I can't guarantee that this is what the duck is doing,
I
but
can pretty much guarantee it.
anyway, that's what made this picture compelling to us. So let's jump back and let's take a look at some comments, because we have comments, right, Justin?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Let me
Where
give
do
this
we-
to Chelsea.
See them.
I got it
happening?
right here. I think
Oh,
you're
you
okay.
do?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just pull it up here.
What do you guys think of the new LED cube? Asked Chico.
I
haven't
saw
used-
it, but
I
I
haven't used
didn't.
it.
Yeah. Is there a way of merging the bracketed photos in the Nikon software, or do you need Photoshop? I never use the Canon, Nikon, any software, and they're
Oh.
all bad.
That's junk.
What we use is
That was-
Photomatix Pro for HDR stuff, if that's what you're looking for. That's
Mhm.
that's our favorite, but there's a lot of different HDR software. Check Chapter 11 in Stunning Digital Photography.
And Siobhan says, hey, guys, they're making up porn names for you in the comments. Siobhan. Guys, come on. Come on.
You guys need to grow up. This is a question I get all the time from Chris Henry here. Do you still apply the crop factor for lenses made for APS-C bodies, for crop bodies? And the answer is most definitely yes. Anytime you're comparing any lens attached to a smaller sensor and you want to understand how it would behave or what it would be like to take similar images on a full frame camera, you apply that. So it's not about the lens, it's about the sensor. With 11mm crop on a 1.6x sensor, have the same distortion and field of view as 16 or 17 millimeters on a full frame sensor? Yes.
Martin says, did anyone see that Canon released a $300 price drop on the 5D Mark III and a $100 price drop on the 6D today? That's a sweet deal.
That's great news because our 5D Mark III took a bit of a bath and will have to be replaced pretty soon. So I'm glad the prices have fallen a little bit.
Chad Kruger says, with one fell swoop, the Pez dispenser on the hot shoe trick was rendered outdated. It was.
Yeah, if you don't know, you can slip a Pez dispenser right in your hot shoe. They have like a little foot that somehow fits perfectly.
It was,
And then you can get like a Pez dispenser with a Darth Vader head or some cute head.
but that would be so boring compared to a whole movie.
Birds are machines with no souls. Don't ignore
I knew that would be controversial. Birds are machines with no souls.
I hope Jessica doesn't watch this. I love birds. They're really cool machines.
And then Fetzinger says you see no reflection of them in the mirror. It's why
That's why their
their
quack doesn't echo.
No souls. This is why I can't read the comments live, because they crack me up and then people get mad. Erky says, I think they need to calibrate their monitor. They overexpose everything today.
He's bringing up a good point in that every monitor is different. So people often look at their monitor and adjust the settings so it looks good to them there. But
Yeah.
then people are going to look at on their monitor and their smartphone and their TV and 100 different devices. So that's why you have to use the histogram.
How could everything look overexposed if we use the histogram?
You have to use the histogram. So clearly Erky's monitor has the problem because there's no chance that it's us.
Oh, I thought he meant that monitor with that camera. The TV with that camera.
Oh, it could be. This TV does
It does
sometimes.
look
It does look
I
kind of
think
bright.
what's
Yeah.
going on is that Erky's wrong as per usual, and we just shouldn't listen to him.
Yeah, it's the reading.
He's getting real high and mighty lately, ever since that magazine cover.
It's the reason Sweden is borderline second world country. It's been falling way down in the ranks
Because
lately.
of Erky. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
High on life. LOL, it's the high show. My mountains and bee and seagull. LOL. Hi, you're supposed to submit one photo per day. Give me your mom's phone number. I'm calling her. You were in trouble. Tigar says the B-shot exposure was fine, but
Okay, I'm not even reading that last comment.
I would drag my balls across a desert of broken glass to smell Chelsea. That is the most romantic thing anyone has ever said to me.
Really touching. You got Mike with that one.
Someone's been reading poetry.
I'm about to look at Big Al's photography because I just love the name. But let's check out the progress of this impossible project, almost Polaroid. Oh man, what is this? Look.
That's actually the worst picture I've ever seen. Justin, can you even see that?
A little bit.
No, you can't because that's.
It's clearly underexposed, and it seems to have camera shake too. How could that be? Because it has like a fixed shutter speed on it.
What?
The
This
color.
is $3 a picture.
Yes, but I love the border on the picture. This. I don't know how I ruined
I'm
that
gonna
picture
try
so
another one.
badly. Okay. Did you turn the exposure up some?
Is that all the way up?
I think you want to move it more towards dark, or
How can it not be properly exposed in all this light?
This is a piece of junk.
well, it is a piece of junk.
I'm
just
calling
gonna.
the landscaper.
I don't.
You leave it outside for a few years. The landscaper, the camera.
Maybe.
We do.
Could be the camera. We
Oh,
should
yeah.
try this piece of junk.
Could be the camera.
That would require taking the. I don't know if.
This has a flash?
Yeah, it doesn't have batteries
I can't
though.
roll like this. What?
Yeah, try another picture.
I mean,
they won't see it, but we'll put it on our Twitter at Tony Northrup or at Chelsea Northru. Okay, quick,
Wow.
hide it. Put it in there. Okay.
All right. That's horrible.
So
That should come in a Happy Meal. Okay.
sometimes people think we're sponsored by the products that we talk about. So
Oh,
if
so
it's
we're
not clear, we're not
sponsored
sponsored by the Impossible Project.
by the Polaroid land camera.
Your picture turned out awful. It's really difficult to
They
do.
accuse
But
us
I appreciate what they're doing. It's really hard to reverse engineer the Polaroid formula. They're not using the Polaroid's chemistry. They had to make it from scratch. They had to invent it using different formulas.
Okay.
We'll keep working
I
at it.
couldn't do it.
$3 a shot. So
Too
let's
rich
check
for
out
my
Big
blood.
Al's photography. That's Big Al.
Al.
I kind of want to see your pictures, Big Al, and it's a little difficult to actually see your work.
What's happening?
Okay. It took me a few clicks, and people are not that patient.
Oh.
These pictures could use some crops. I think they're good pictures. Just need to go a little bit tighter. This is a cool picture, but he's missing a catchlight in the eyes. You might be able to just raise the shadows on the eyes to fix that.
I like that one.
Yeah,
Dark turtle.
that's cute. A couple of the same bird. Kind of want one per
I like
pic
the
per
red-winged
bird.
blackbird. That's a nice picture.
Let's check out
I like
nature.
that.
That's a really nice mood. Let's see how many
Nice.
pictures he has here. All right, that's an
That's
appropriate
a
number of pictures.
reasonable amount.
There are a lot of different categories, and I think at this point you might be better off just kind of making one category with like your top
Yeah, and
15 pictures.
Picking your best of.
I've been at this for like 15 years, and I only have one category with 15 pictures myself.
One per year.
Yeah, well, one per year is that's the
probably
rule of
get-
thumb for a photographer. Is you
probably
put
get-
one
yeah.
picture in your portfolio per year. Ansel Adams doesn't even have that. Like most people know, like 10 Ansel Adams pictures, and he
Yeah.
was at it for 40 years.
If you
or
go
something.
to his exhibit, you're like, what? So many look the same. This one's just like a magnitude. It's like 1 degree better.
Yeah. Well, he'd camp out for just long periods of time, just waiting for the perfect light and stuff.
I think that's
but
a beautiful story of persistence.
yeah. So these pictures are all way too similar. Well, not all, but the first few were kind of exactly the same scene.
Oh, that's the same landscape. So, ooh, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
You should lead with that picture. That was incredible.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think what we're saying your homework is you have great pictures. There are too many other pictures in there. So you want to narrow it down to 10 to 15 pictures in total, put them in one group, and then just mix them up so that we have variety, no two similar pictures,
Yeah.
and show just your best work.
I think some advice that I haven't given before is that I think that your pictures are really beautiful and that your logo doesn't reflect that.
I really, I like it. He's got a cool picture of himself, kind of cartoonish thing.
See, I don't think that that reflects his work. Look at how beautiful that picture is, and then the cartoon, it reminds me, I don't know.
No, you're right. His work is kind of peaceful almost.
Yeah.
It doesn't kind of reflect the same mood that we see from the pictures. It just kind of, maybe the welcome. Yeah, we'd also like to see your pictures when we visit the top URL rather than having to
Yeah.
click it all because people are just don't have any kind of patience. I just kind of wanted to see what he said about himself. His name is Big Al Johnson. Okay, let's see what Big Al had to say about Squarespace.
Big Al.
Easy to use and has all the features I need. So which one of these URLs calls out to you, Chels?
The one on the bottom.
Okay. Colin Blount. Oh, good. Some car photography. This guy's been racing, and looks like he got into a little fender bender. He's got a S2000. Sweet. More Hondas. Yeah.
Wait.
You
No,
want to
keep
drool
going.
over the cars a
Keep
little bit
going.
more? Beautiful Porsche. Yeah, we love cars. We see lots of tuner cars here.
Dodge Viper. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, another company picked them up and has been manufacturing some, but you don't see them very often. So we love car shots. This is a really nice kind of, I like the
that.
off-center composition,
too.
and it's violating the rule of space facing out, but I like it and it works.
It is, but then like all of the empty space is balanced by the visual weight of the red car.
Yeah.
So it really works.
Yeah, it really does. And that's just a great angle kind of showing, you know, a unique characteristic of this particular car.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, really nice.
Let's see more.
That's funny because you actually, oh, so we did a whole photo shoot with this particular car.
Oh, cool.
You want to see more, but that was all the
That was
pictures
it.
that he had.
That's perfect. If we want to see more, then you have the right amount in your portfolio.
Yeah, you left us wanting more. Great job, Colin. There's a picture of Colin. He's got a big backpack, probably full of camera gear there, but it's always good to be prepared, I suppose. Yeah, we have a video on taking pictures at car shows. It's a real challenge, and you did great work.
Yeah,
Nice job,
it's
Colin.
difficult.
Let's see what he had to say about Squarespace. Very easy setup and maintenance of the site. New pages are a breeze to make, and the password protected pages is a great option too.
Yeah, I like that. That's good for photographers.
This guy's got a number in his URL, 963 captures.
Whoa.
One of the hardest things is picking your name, your URL.
Yeah.
And I think 963 captures is memorable. It's different. And if you have a difficult to spell name, it could be a great idea just to go with something different.
Yeah. We see that a lot. If you have a difficult name, then you try to spell it and it doesn't take you to the right place. It can be tricky.
Yeah, you have to be able to tell people, go to northropphotography.com. But if your name is something complex and people are going to misspell it, then they're not going to find your URL. The dark secret. This is a spectacular shot. Really gorgeous colors.
Yeah, I like that.
Nicely done.
I like the flat chipmunk.
Yeah, so here we have kind of a mix of different photos, a little bit of variety. Let's see what we have. 963 scapes. Interesting. So each kind of section here only has maybe 8 pictures.
I like the second picture down on the right. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want this one, yeah. Yeah, that is really nice. I almost wonder if it would be better for him to lead with full screen rather than thumbnails.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like these pictures, but the thumbnails don't feel like they do them justice. I like kind of being immersed in somebody's portfolio, but it's a matter of taste. I like this with all the wires too. I like these shots. I guess I almost stayed on the thumbnails and I would have missed so much.
Yeah, there's something, the photos, there's so much detail in many of them that I don't think they're displayed properly in your portfolio. They should be full screen.
That is one of the nice things of setting up a portfolio is you control how people see your pictures. If you just throw them on Flickr or 500 pics, then they're always scrolling through thumbnails.
Yeah.
But here you get the option to present them how you want. Anyway, it's okay that you chose thumbnails, but we're kind of suggesting maybe here I think the thumbnails work well.
Yeah, these work.
For the artistic stuff, I might want to see them go full screen. 963 Chrome. Oh, okay. So these are kind of his black and white shots. Looks like street photography. Nicely done.
Yeah, let's see who this man is.
963 Life. Oh, all right. Wildlife shots. You want to see his about page. Doesn't seem to have one.
Oh, that's unusual.
Abstract your favorite. Wow, that's a beautiful shot. I like this one too. Really nice, peaceful, beautiful colors. I think the abstracts definitely deserve full screen. Otherwise, you get distracted by other things that are going on. You kind of want to be able to just take it in.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, that's my favorite of this. I really like that one. Nicely done. Let's see what 963 photography. We do want to see an about page, though. Let us learn just a little bit about you, unless we miss it. I just didn't see anything. Oh, okay. It's at the bottom here. A little bit confusing. It's nice to have it up at the top, too. He actually does have a name that I would find difficult to spell, so I think something like 963 Captures is really smart. I mean, that's him. Very artistic. I like that. Really nicely done with the portfolio.
What does he have to say about
a little bit of homework, just suggesting your layout a little bit. Squarespace 7 is awesome. Personally, being a non-techie and a hobbyist, I feel that Squarespace 7, that's the new version of their site we were just telling you about, is seamless and very easy to maneuver around. I recently revamped my portfolio with Squarespace 7, and I cannot be happier. Great. Glad to hear it, Shival. What do you think? Should we look at some more wildlife pictures before we check out?
Let's see if there are any more comments.
Okay.
It's 6 o'clock. We have just a few more minutes.
Okay. We'll check the comments real quick.
That bunny was real cute.
Do Tony and Chelsea have a favorite bird to photograph? What's your favorite bird?
That's a really good question. We did osprey for a long time. I think I'm getting tired of them.
Yeah, they are an amazing bird to photograph because they're just kind of always hitting the water and pulling fish out. So they're only around here seasonally, but yeah, they're a really exciting bird.
I guess that is my favorite for now. I'm ready to move on from them, but I do love that there's so much action when we're photographing them.
Yeah, and also they're kind of easy because they're in some abundance. They're pretty easy to find. They kind of go to the same spots. I don't know, I get excited anytime I see a new bird to photograph, so I think for me it's always a new species. That's my favorite.
I like photographing owls too. Usually the birds I like to photograph are the ones that I like to watch, and owls are funny because they're always finding a place to hide and they can really blend in, and then the crows call them out and swoop in and dive bomb them. They're fun to watch.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to some of these questions. Erica is never wrong.
F all histograms. That doesn't seem like good advice.
Okay, that's about it for the comments. So let's take a look at a couple more pictures and then we'll peace out of here. A bunny. It's a good picture. It's
What's
cute.
he looking at? He looks surprised.
It does feel like we're missing part of the story, right? I think
we need to Photoshop something in.
Would help out.
Like Nicki Minaj. What happened to this bird?
That's just the way he looks. Why would you comment on his appearance like that?
I feel like something happened.
Even here, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more crop. He's looking over to camera left here, so I think we could crop it with kind of the rule of thirds and get in a little bit tighter just so that the balance between his feet and the top of his head is a little bit better.
They said before we started the show
they were going
to drink when we crop, so at least half of them are dead by now.
I didn't even know that, but sorry about the alcohol poisoning. Another red fox.
I like his expression. I wish that... Is it blurry?
It looks like it might be a little bit of either camera shake or motion blur, so maybe a faster shutter speed would have helped. But the biggest problem is that his eyes are in shadow here. So one of the things we'll kind of do is just use an adjustment brush and paint it in. And I don't know why the clarity is down there, but we'll just bump the exposure up a little bit just to brighten his eye up a little. So you can see what a difference that made just right away. You got to have a light in the eyes. It shows life. With dark eyes, it just doesn't feel alive. Otherwise, nicely done.
Oh, that's not wildlife. Whoa.
Wow.
That's what it looks like in there?
Yeah, why do they have teeth all the way back there?
Can we zoom?
No.
That's an incredible picture.
Yeah, hippos are just an abomination. Remember the one at the Puerto Rican zoo that would just turn around?
And poop at you?
Yeah, at you.
Defiantly.
Yeah,
it
exactly. Who would do that? They are rude animals.
You know, what you're saying about birds and hippos tonight just isn't right. I'm glad we're wrapping this up soon.
Yeah, the hippo.
What about those birds that clean the hippos?
Disgusting.
Oh, yeah, they're worse than Jabba the Hutt's little minions that clean him up. I love it when birds
Cling
perch
sideways.
vertically.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I wanted to crop it, but at the same
No.
time, I love these things over here. And if I crop tight over here, you're right.
You can't.
Put the drink down.
This is a beautiful picture. We're going to leave it.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Great contrast. Everything turned out really good.
Oh, handsome.
Yeah.
I like
it's
the water droplet
maybe
at the
a
end of
golden
his
eagle.
beak.
Yeah. Just gorgeous. This picture is so good that it deserves a little bit of cleaning up in Photoshop. Select this background here and then just decrease the noise. Just blur that background a little bit. It's kind of unavoidable with these like blurry
He looks like Steve Carell.
colors, but
Doesn't he? Very handsome. Oh my gosh.
wow, just beautiful. They have great light in this particular exhibit, and it's kind of allowing the hair to get highlighted. Just a fantastic shot. Ah, crow, but you captured all the texture and the wings. That's what's really
I like that
important.
a lot.
And I like the use of negative space here. Though I kind of want to move him
Crop it?
higher in the frame, don't you?
No.
No? Let's see if we can do this. This isn't what Lightroom's made for at all.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's how you're doing.
Don't do it.
Oh, that's not.
I thought you were going to crop it or something.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's not at all what I
Uh-oh.
intended to do. Let's see. What if I do this?
After doing this kind of stuff in Photoshop. No. Oh.
That didn't work out as I'd hoped.
No, I
had never tried to move something in Lightroom,
like
and I thought I might be able to pull it off.
it looks like an Olin Mills
It
portrait.
does look like an Olin Mills
Actually,
portrait.
I had this experience. I just did that video with Madeline. There was a leaf I had to remove, and I practiced it, and I got it, and then I did it on camera, and it's just like, where is my content-aware fill when I need it?
Lightroom is perfect for some things. This is not one of those things Lightroom's good
Never
for.
try to do that.
Pull it into Photoshop. That's my picture, and it's tiny, but great shot.
I'd crop it.
Good shot.
Let's bring down the highlights.
Yeah, it's difficult shooting a white bird like this, especially on a dark background. You want to make sure you have texture in the feathers, which you do, but you also kind of want to bring out the shadows here around the face. So we won't go into detail with that, but
Tony, it's 6 after 6.
okay.
We gotta call it.
Let's get out of here.
We can't
Thanks
keep
for
Mike
joining
here
us.
all night.
Thanks, Mike. We're here every Thursday at 5 o'clock. So we will see you next week with more instant photo reviews. And if you're interested in books, check out sdp.io/store for photographic techniques, buying guides, and Lightroom books. And if you want a great portfolio, go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.